Hey, Teddy K here from MobileSyrup, and in this video review we're going to take a look at Apple's CarPlay, the company's vaunted automotive platform. I've had 3 months with it, and I'm going to tell you what's good about it and what's not so good about it. While CarPlay was set to go wireless in iOS 9, I have not used that feature and I've had to plug it in, which is the way the platform was originally designed. So here it is, plugging it in, and then eventually the screen pops up in the back. This is what the interface looks like, and it should be very familiar. I mean, this is like the original iPhone. You've got the simple black background with the simple icons on the front. Apple, of course, prioritizing their own default apps, with the exception of Pioneer's NEX, because, of course, this is Pioneer's head unit. Now, if I swipe this way, I can't get anything. There's nothing extra there like we're used to with the iPhone. But if I swipe the other way, then I get the third-party apps, which are all in alphabetical order. Beyond these two screens, though, there's really no customization available at all. I can't move the apps around or do anything else. Much of what CarPlay is about is audio, and that should be pretty obvious when you look at the screens here. The apps that I have installed are actually installed on the phone and then project over to the head unit because CarPlay actually resides on the iPhone and not here on the hardware. A lot of what's here is pretty recognizable. We've got Spotify, Rdio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, audiobooks.com, even Berlin Philharmonic's in there. And if you have accounts with any of these, you can access them because they reside on the phone. Now, not all the audio apps are represented here, but there are others, and there are probably more to follow. Now, while you're in CarPlay, you're not necessarily stuck with all this. If you want to go out into, let's say, what the head unit's platform is, like in this case NEX, we just tap it, and then we're in the NEX OS, and then back to CarPlay again. Apple Music is an interesting case because as much as the streaming service offers, very little of it is translated here to CarPlay. The priority seems to be on the music that you have stored on the device instead. The menu layout is very, very similar to the way it is on the phone. And as far as radio goes, other than Beats One and some of the main playlists and some of the radio stations or playlists that you create, there's not a lot more you can do with it. Moving on to Spotify, the integration here is quite good, as you can see from the very simple menu layout. It's not hard to get to the music that you have. Playlists, songs, albums, artists, they're all there, and playing the songs are very easy, as you can see here. There is one bug, though, that does happen. Now, if the app is frozen for too long on your phone, then you can get through the menu and you can get to playing the song, but the song itself will not actually play. So the app has to be killed first on the phone and then relaunched on CarPlay. Why this happens, I'm not sure, but it continues to be a problem even in iOS 9. The other music apps have very similar interfaces too, as you can see here with Rdio. Very basic design, simple layouts, easy to get to the music that you have. Now, in this particular case though, Rdio is got some bugs as well. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Now, I'm just going to pick a track here on this playlist. Okay, let's go with this one. See what's going on there, where it's just sort of loading and nothing's happening? This is a bug that tends to happen even when the app hasn't been frozen at all. As you can see, I'm just sort of throwing out the phone here. On the plus side, though, when the music is cached to the device, meaning that you're not actually streaming because there is a copy of it cached and stored on the device, playback is actually not a problem at all. One of the benefits of having Siri integrated into CarPlay is that it uses the microphone that's attached to the head unit you're using. So it's using the microphone that's in the cabin. That should ideally make it a lot easier to understand what you're saying, and for the most part it does. So let's take a look. Hey Siri.
Hello there, Ted.
This can also work if I don't press anything at all, so it'll recognize my voice. Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
Okay, the temperature today will range between 9 degrees and 14 degrees.
Thank you. So it will give you contextual information that doesn't require anything to be listed on the screen. So if I ask for an address or directions to go somewhere, then it will tell me how to get there. It'll show the map, but it won't actually show me a list of different locations that I can go to that I can then pick, which you can do on the phone. The idea being that it doesn't want you touching the screen that much. So it's well thought out in that sense, but not always in execution. Now, if we switch and we try to play music, so let's see what we can get that way. Hey Siri, play songs by Michael Jackson.
looking for Michael Jackson. Okay, Michael Jackson coming up.
And there we go. So, it's not bad, assuming that it recognizes the name. Now, I'm going to lower the volume here. Now, Siri is kind of hit or miss if you're trying to get it to recognize you while music is playing or while the car is loud. You're driving on a highway, there's obviously a lot of noise. It's pretty good, actually, but you do definitely have to raise your voice to get there. Of course, it always helps that Siri can also handle messages and phone calls, which phone calls are actually extremely easy. It's no different, really, than using your phone the way you naturally would. And messages are essentially the same thing. Of course, it will read out the latest text messages to you. You can respond. You can also listen to audio messages that have been left for you, but you cannot respond with your own audio message, at least for the moment. I assume that a future update will probably unlock that, but for now, it can't be done. One of the limitations of Siri is that it can't do everything, even though it's supposed to be an assistant and you're in the car and are supposed to be hands-free. So, for example, it can't launch an app that I might want to listen to audio from. So, for example, if I say, "Hey Siri, launch SoundCloud."
Sorry, Ted. I can't help you with that while you're in the car.
I'm sorry to hear that. So, basically, that's it. It will not be able to launch apps, no matter what it is that I want to listen to. That does not have CarPlay functionality, by the way. It just won't do it. So, in those particular cases, I'd have to launch it manually on the phone, either before I leave for my destination, or unfortunately, if I'm at a red light, or if I'm in the car, or maybe a passenger will do it for me. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully that little issue will be solved once we have greater number of apps that work with CarPlay, which at the moment is a limited amount.
And that's CarPlay. Now, undoubtedly, this is the best way to use the iPhone in the car, based on my experience and based on what's already out there, especially from the automakers. Having said that, the system is far from perfect. There are a lot of things that are still missing, the kinks that need to be worked out as well. App support is still limited, and as a result, the integration is limited too. Now, it'd be good if Apple opened up Siri to third-party developers so that they can make use of some of these things, so that I could actually dig in to the features that are in some of the supported apps, but for now, it's not there. So as is, it's good, but there's still a long way to go. For MobileSyrup, I'm Ted Kratsonis. Thanks for watching.